Dear students, in this video we are going to see the relation between nominal and true stress and strain. Let us see this. So dear students, we know that this nominal stress, if I talk about nominal stress, that is our sigma n is equal to what? The applied load divided by original cross sectional area. Say simple formula type we can have here. And the true stress is given as say sigma t is equal to the applied load P divided by instantaneous area or area at the time of fracture. So I will write this P divided by say AF is the final area, cross sectional area of this specimen. Now see here, if I multiply and divide by original area to this sigma t, what I will get? This sigma t will be equal to P by A naught into A original divided by A final, isn't it? And what is this P by A naught? This is our normal stress, that is sigma n into this original cross section divided by final cross sectional area. And as we know that in the volume constancy is valid, so we can write here this original area into original length is equal to final area into final length. So for this A original by A final, I can write here the final length divided by original length, isn't it? So here if I write this sigma n into this L final divided by L original, then there is no issue. What I am going to do here, I will subtract one and add one in this LF by L naught. So what will be there? So sigma t is equal to sigma n into bracket LF minus LO divided by LO plus 1. And what is this final length minus original length divided by original length? That is our what? This is our normal strain, isn't it? That is strain is equal to change in length divided by original length. So this sigma t we can write is equal to sigma n into bracket 1 plus this E, isn't it? So see here we get the relation between the true stress and nominal or normal stress, as true stress is equal to this normal stress into 1 plus normal strain, isn't it? And in same fashion we can have the relationship between the nominal strain and engineering strain. So dear students, we know that the normal strain is nothing but small e is equal to change in length divided by original length, isn't it? Original length, and it is equal to A is equal to L final minus L original divided by L original, where LF is the final length of the specimen, LO is the original length of the specimen. And the true strain, how to give this true strain value? So it is actually the summation of all the normal strains from L original to L final. So up to the fracture or up to the failure, we are going to measure the strain. It is nothing but the true strain, isn't it? Instantaneous strain if we want. So it is nothing but the summation of the strains whatever point we have calculated. So they say this is the change in length by original length, that is say E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. So whatever number of times you have calculated these normal strains, and up to the failure you want the true strain simple word. True strain is what? Nothing but it is the summation of all the normal strains from L0 length to the L final length. So here this all the summation of the strains, whatever number of points you have taken, so it is nothing but the true strain, which is epsilon. True strain is represented by epsilon, we know this. So epsilon is what? The summation of all the strains, that is summation of all this change in length divided by original length. And summation is nothing but the integral from where to where? From original length to the final length. So this epsilon is equal to L original, integral L original to L final. Okay, that is change in length divided by original length. So what you get here? So epsilon is equal to, this is what is integral of this, that is ln of L from limits L0 to L final. So that is ln of L final divided by L original, isn't it? So dear student, this is what? The true strain that we know. This is the true strain, ln of L final divided by L original, or in terms of area we know we can calculate ln of this D or A original divided by A final. This is we know, isn't it? Now we want the relation between this true strain and the normal strain, isn't it? So here what we have the formula for true strain, we got here ln of this L final divided by L original, isn't it? Now from in this equation I am subtracting this 1 and adding this 1 here once again. So what we can get? That is ln of L final minus L original divided by L original plus 1. And what is this? Change in length divided by original length, that is nothing but what? E, that is our normal strain, plus 1. So this is the true strain. Epsilon is the true strain and E is the normal strain. So this is the relation we get here between the true strain and normal or engineering strain, isn't it? So dear students, the two relation we got here for sigma T is equal to sigma N into bracket 1 plus E, and epsilon is equal to ln of 1 plus, isn't it? Now in same fashion, if suppose we want to calculate the strain rates, so it is nothing but what? The strain per unit time, of course, and unit will be what? The second inverse or per second. So what is strain rate? If I want the normal strain rate, so how it is calculated? That is E dot, I will write the dot here for the rate. So E dot is equal to dE by dt. And what is our E? That is change in length divided by original length here, isn't it? For the normal strain. So if I take this 1 upon L naught out, so change in length again it will be the length only, so it will be dl upon dt. What is dl? Change in length divided by time, that is the velocity. So it is the velocity divided by original length. So here v is what? This is the velocity of deformation, velocity of deformation. So if you want to take this velocity in case of say forging operation, you can have the velocity of the platen with which it is moving towards the stationary die, that is moving platen coming towards the stationary platen or die, you can have this velocity. Okay, so here normal strain rate, we can have the velocity of deformation divided by the original length or original height of the specimen, you can say. And if I want to have the true strain rate, that is epsilon dot will be equal to what? That is d epsilon by dt and what is epsilon? d dt of ln of L final divided by L original, isn't it? So see the derivative of log of x, that is 1 upon x. So what I can have here? So 1 upon L final, again this dl by dt, which is nothing but velocity of deformation divided by final length or height. That will be our the true strain rate. So here the true strain rate, what? The velocity divided by original length. Here it is velocity divided by final length. V is the velocity of deformation. So this is how we can also able to calculate with the strain rate also, isn't it? So let us take some examples on this. So dear students, let us take this example which is asked in Production Engineering 2002. So it is given as a specimen with 12.5 millimeter diameter and 50 mm gauge length is used in the tension test of an aluminum alloy at a load of 250 Newton. The total elongation is given as 2 millimeter, and they are asking to find out the true stress and true strain. This is 2-mark question. So see, dear students, initially the gauge length was how much? Say it was 50 mm, and in tension, when they applied the load, tensile load P, how much P is given? 250 Newton, isn't it? So there will be the elongation, the specimen undergoing the elongation. Definitely there will be the increase in length, isn't it? And of course there will be the decrease in diameter. So this increased length, we got it as 52 millimeter. So from this, very simple, we can calculate the first thing, that is what is the strain, normal strain. What is change in length? That is 52 minus 50 divided by 50, isn't it? So strain will be how much? Normal strain, that is 2 divided by 50. Let us calculate this. 2 divided by 50, it is 0.04. But they are asking for the true strain. So what is true strain? That is ln of 1 plus e. So ln of 1 plus 0.04, that is ln of 1.04. How much it is? Plus 1, that is ln of answer. It is 0.039. 0.03922. So you got here the true strain 0.039. I hope only one answer is here. You can see here option B is of course it is correct, isn't it? Now let us also calculate the true stress. True stress calculate करेंगे हम. How to calculate true stress? We know that the sigma T is equal to sigma n into bracket 1 plus E. So what is the normal stress here? That is applied load 250 Newton divided by cross sectional area, that is pi by 4 times diameter कितना है? 12.5 square. So it will be 1000 divided by 12.5 square. So it is 6.4. divided by pi. So it will be 2.037 megapascal. And if you put here this value of sigma n, you will get the sigma T is equal to this 2.037 into 1 plus E is how much? 0.04. So into 1.04 we'll get it's 2.1186. 2.1186 megapascal. So what is the answer? 2.1186 11, x is rounded to 2.119. So see, this B is the correct option. So this is how we can able to find out the true stress and true strain. Let us take the next example. So let us have this next example. A specimen is compressed from original height of 50 mm with the crosshead of press moving at 0.12 meter per second. If the current height is 30 mm, then the true strain rate will be here. They are asking the true strain rate, and looking at the options, of course this is compressed, so we are using generally the negative sign for the compression and positive sign for the tension or elongation. So here, what is this true strain rate they are asking? True strain rate. True strain rate. How to calculate this true strain rate, which is equal to what? The velocity of deformation. Velocity of deformation. You can also take this velocity of the jaws of this UTM also. Then here it is given as a press moving, the cross head is given, isn't it? The cross head is given, which is moving at this velocity 0.12 meter per second, divided by the current or instantaneous length or height. So what is velocity? It is 0.12 divided by a current height, it is 30 millimeter. So velocity in meter per second, isn't it? So I will write in meter, that is 0.030. It will be nothing but 4 second inverse, and it is compression, that's why it is -4. So C is the correct answer. So this is how we can able to solve the questions which are based on the relationship between the normal and true stress strains, and also for normal and true strain rates also. Thank you.